Welcome back to Digi Bros, everybody.
Alright, I have a topic I just came up with that I was sort of thinking about before. Has to do with podcasts, because I was going to talk about, I'm watching this show called The Leftovers. Pretty good show, but at times it feels like this may as well be an audiobook or a podcast. Because the way the cinematography is, it's almost always a close-up of someone's face, and then it's a conversation of just close-ups back and forth of people's face, and I'm like, I don't even need to be watching this. I could be reading this in a book and it would have the exact same feel because I'm watching absolutely nothing right now other than, like, a dude's face.
What does that have to do with podcasts?
I was saying that
That the show
that
is like a podcast?
the show is a podcast.
Like, that was just your transition, but you didn't
Yes,
actually
that
have
was
a
my
point about
transition.
podcasts. Okay.
Is that well, because it's like watching Digi Bros, where you might as well not watch the game. You might as well just listen to it.
Are you
there's
aware
nothing going
of
on.
like narrative podcasts?
Yeah, I'm aware of the Night
Night
Watch
Vale.
or whatever
Welcome
the
to
fuck.
Night Vale.
Welcome to Night Vale. I think I listened to like the first episode or something.
That one's more like a fake radio show.
Yeah.
Than a oh shit. Well, I guess I'll go back and stand on that fucking switch.
Yeah. So anyways,
Jesus Christ.
shows, you know, sometimes it has lots of visual subtlety where it's like you do have to watch it, but otherwise
Versus new
it's
dudes
like you're just
spawned in
fucking like in a cone around some dude's face.
Right. Don't. I'm just passing them. I'm going to the switch. We'll hit the switch first.
Thought you'd have something to add to that train of thought. I thought it was interesting.
I mean, I haven't seen the show, so I
I
can't.
mean, you know it in reference to other things, though, right?
I
But
don't
then
know.
there's also, like, there's stuff like Game of Thrones that was a book. Like, I figured The Leftovers is probably an adaptation of a book.
Right.
Because it's kind of like when an anime does an adaptation of a light novel and there's not much going on and it's mostly just like they're standing around because obviously there isn't much more than dialogue happening in the scene.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that where I figure it's probably based on a book. But then there's shows like Game of Thrones that are based on a book that get away with that much easier because you're seeing like a unique fantasy world. Whereas this place
these
just seems
guys.
to take place in like woodland, East Coast area, whatever the fuck, you
Right.
know, where it's like I didn't need an adaptation, you know, like a visual adaptation when it's not
I don't know,
visually
because
interesting.
For me personally, having visuals is inherently better because it's visuals.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's like I would never read the fucking book.
Right, exactly. Like,
But I'm just saying when you adapt something into a visual medium, it's more fun if you do
Right.
something unique and interesting with
there's
the visuals
certainly
that you
certain
wouldn't be able to
things
do
you would
otherwise.
rather have adapted than
Yes.
other things. This is the wrong way.
And in that case, I feel like with some of the visual subtlety that the show does have, where it'll be like, oh, you just happen to see this guy's hands and you see that he's not wearing his wedding ring or some stuff.
Right.
And like the show never like zooms in on that. Like it just kind of lets you notice it. And I
Right.
feel like that's a good way to handle what in a book might have been like described to
Explained.
you.
Right.
It's kind of it's almost like the Dark Souls of TV because it tells you fucking nothing. It spoon feeds you nothing. And like there's lots of things where you have to be paying attention or you miss that background detail that kind of builds on it a little bit.
Have you is the word spoon feed a word you use normally? Like
I
is
don't
that
know.
like where do
I
you,
guess it's
just
a
curious.
normal term.
I'm curious because it's a 4chan thing.
Is it?
Like that they say no spoon feeding.
I see.
Like it's a basically
Maybe
one of
I
the-
picked it up from Danson and Dark Souls.
one of the biggest like cultural things with
Ow.
4chan is that they try to train you to become someone who can find information by yourself.
Yes.
And so there's like a lot of like the culture is like telling people, you know, never give source or whatever, never like basically don't help people to understand shit because they should try to figure it out by themselves.
Yeah.
And you would know that by lurking, cuz like the number one rule on any board on 4chan is lurk a lot before you post, because if you read what other people are doing, you'll eventually figure out how to do what they're doing, you know. So like that's the most spoon feeding you really get on 4chan is people telling you to be there longer and know what to do, you know. So like on A, there will be a lot of threads where it'll be like a manga thread, and mind you, these piss me off so bad because they have these threads called one-page thread, and it'll be I might have fucking explained this on Digibros before, but it'll be a one-page thread where everyone is supposed to post one page from a manga they like that would sell other people on that manga, like make you want to go read it.
Yeah.
But no one ever says what manga it's from. They'll just post a page, and then the idea is if you Google search the image, you'll usually find the manga. But a lot of the time you won't, because these people underestimate or overestimate like how well known this manga is, or how well the database will catalog it, or they're fucking with you, like they're posting something they know is not like that you'll never find. But yeah, it can be really infuriating when you go into one of those threads and everyone's just posting a manga page, and then half of it you can't even fucking find the manga, and they're like, oh, no spoon feeding. It's like, what the fuck ever, dude. I can't find this shit. Is it that much of a pain to just type the name next to the fucking thing, you know? But that is a big part of Chan culture. And I got onto that subject.
I didn't care about that, but I was thinking about something else. So, would you rather enjoy a mystery story? Like, would it be more appealing to you if they gave you, like, little clues throughout, and you could solve the mystery on your own just by looking at those clues? Or would you rather it be a mystery where you aren't given any clues, you have no idea what's going on, and eventually they explain it to you without giving you any chance to, like, figure it out for yourself?
I would prefer that they don't tell me it's a mystery story and I find out at the end.
like you couldn't tell it was gonna be a mystery?
I think, yeah, my favorite kinds of mysteries are when I should say I don't like mysteries at all. I don't like any story where I'm waiting to find out what the appeal is.
Yeah.
What I like is when there's a reveal that makes you rethink what you've seen before.
Yes.
Did I talk about this where I talked about Gurren Lagann? Was that on Digibros?
I don't think so.
What the fuck was I talking about it on then? Basically, to me, the style of Gurren Lagann is the perfect way to do a reveal.
Yes.
Because when you watch that show from the very beginning, you like it, right?
Yes.
It has a story with a character whose motivations you understand, who you want to see succeed. You know, it has dramatic twists and turns through the narrative where characters die and, you know, things happen. But eventually, it turns out there's something deeper behind it all, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, it kind of hints that there's a mystery. It hints that, you know, what the hell are the Beastmen? What the hell is Nia?
But you're not... Those questions aren't posed as the
point of the show.
Yeah, the point.
They're just kind of, like, lingering in the background. And then, when they finally do reveal it, it makes sense with what you've seen before.
Yes.
You go, oh, that's why that happened. That's why the Beastmen were there. That's the kind of mystery I like. When I'm not, like, thinking about it, but then when it's revealed, I think back on everything I've seen before and I go, oh, that's why it was like that, you know? And that feels super smart and clever because, you know, it feels smarter because you didn't expect it to mean something. And then when it does mean something, it's, like, mind-blowing, you know? Which is like the Chekhov's gun method.
Yes.
And it's always cool. If you want to impress your readers, that will always work. You know, make a story that seems normal and then turn out to be something different. Undertale, another great example. Like, you don't really know that there's... Like, it is pretty mysterious from the start, but, like, your goal is get out of underground.
Yes.
You know, and you meet people.
You aren't really concerned with the mystery. Like, I didn't care about the mystery of what's going on the whole time. I was just like, I just want to play the game and do fun things.
But then when you do find out the answers, then you're like, oh, shit. So that's why, you know. Oh, that's why Toriel's there, you know, like, and you know these things now, and it's interesting. So,
But anyways, with this show, it's basically the worst kind of mystery to me, which I'm gonna give it credit because it's worked into the show's themes that the mystery is the way it is, because it's like they establish immediately from the beginning, the big mystery, and then it's like there's all these fucking mysteries with the characters and like what's going on with like these cults and shit, and those mysteries piss me off because the whole time you're just wondering, okay, what the fuck is the deal with these people? What are they after? Why do I care? And then like they finally reveal it to you, and you're like, cool, I didn't give a shit because I didn't like them because I didn't know what the fuck they were up to the whole time. And then it's just like, you just told it to me, and there were no clues for me to figure out what they wanted, And then, like, the grand mystery is something where it's like, they give you no clues, and they're obviously not going to reveal it because, like, that's kind of the point. And it is worked in within the themes of the show that the theme is that nobody knows the answers. And, like, it's all about them,
on guard,
like,
fuck
how
boys.
they treat that. And how they respond to not knowing the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ranting about a fucking show you haven't seen, so.
Yeah. All I know is I just killed a fuckload of dudes and leveled up. That was pretty cool.
But I imagine this is the same way that Attack on Titan is, where it's just like, there's grand mysteries that there's no way you could know what the fuck's going on because the author probably doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
It's some shit that you could never guess in a million years because it could be whatever the fuck they want it to be.
Right.
It could be fucking space aliens.
So are you saying
who
that
knows?
you prefer when they leave hints for you to guess it?
Yeah. I like to, I would say it might seem weaker that you could guess the mystery of something, but it's at least more fun when you're given a bunch of clues and you get to go, you get to detective your way through it and be like, oh, I know what's going to happen. Like, you can make your predictions about what's going to happen. Other than just, like, having no fucking clue whatsoever and just being lost. And then you're just kind of like, okay, well, what's happening? Like, I just want to know what's happening. I don't know where it's going to go. I have no, like, predictions of where it could go, no expectations or excitement of where it's going to go.
I appreciate why people feel that way, and people often ask me, like, when I talk about why I don't like mystery shows, they're always like, don't you, like, you enjoy, like, trying to figure it out with the show? And I'm like...
Not if they don't let me figure it out.
Well, like, my answer is just, like, I don't think about that kind of shit. Like, because I don't ever have expectations for what's going to happen in a show, because it's so easy for, like, okay, if it seems obvious that, okay, well, the situation is pointing to this guy's the killer. Well, then it's equally likely that that guy's not the killer because it's trying to be subversive,
Yes.
Like, everything is always either going to go the obvious way or the subversive way,
When I watch Game of Thrones, you're given a whole bunch of plot lines, and you vaguely kind of can guess where they're gonna go, but you're given a lot of options where it's like, okay, well, I know what's going on here and here, so if you connect the dots, maybe the plot's gonna go this way, and it makes it fun because you're kind of going like, all right, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Well, what's gonna happen when these two characters collide? What's gonna happen when you get to this point? Like, where it's going. How is it gonna get there? And that's what makes it interesting.
But to me, it's always, well, either that guy's gonna die or that guy's gonna die.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Like,
where it's like you know this big event is coming, and you're like, man, I can't wait for that to happen. Look at how it's building up to that.
Right. I get that, but like when it comes to like the prediction thing, because I'll see people who are like, oh, this dude's definitely gonna die. And I'm like, it's equally likely the other dude's gonna die as a subversion, especially if it's Game of Thrones. It's probably gonna be whoever you think is not gonna die is probably gonna die, It's way more shocking in that show when the person you want to live survives. Like, that's when it's like a real twist.
But then it's fun. It's just more fun,
I guess I just am not the type of viewer for that kind of thing. I'm more into stories where I know exactly what's going on.
And I mean, there is stuff like with the White Walkers where it's like, I don't fucking care about any of that because it's a big mystery that you can never...
You don't know the answers.
You don't know where it's going to go at all.
Right. I think the biggest thing...
Like, but I'm generally not as into the mystery shows.
I think with Game of Thrones, it's like, it's really like driven along by like, what's Dany gonna do? Like, that's always the mystery that's, like, clawing at the back of your mind.
I don't fucking care what she does, because she's
no,
boring as hell.
she's fucking boring now. But in the beginning, it was like, oh, man, Danny's gonna show up one day and fuck everything up. Or, oh, man, when's John gonna, become the hero guy that he's clearly being built up to? Or Arya, like, who's she gonna murder in the end? Which, for me, Arya's the most hilarious, because she has this whole list of names, but they're all dying on their own.
Yeah.
So it's like,
how
many people are gonna be fucking left?
She gets to kill some motherfuckers in the latest season, but most of that season she spent being absolutely boring. And it's like, you could have cut some of these scenes out. We still remember who she is. You don't have to show her every episode.
I definitely think Game of Thrones has, like, too little faith in its viewership.
Probably.
Which is understandable.
I mean, they cut fucking Bran out for an entire season, so...
Well, because Bran hasn't done anything in 2 books, so he's basically, like, out of the picture. Well, let's not talk too much about Game of Thrones. People get pissed off when we start spoiling
Yeah, let's not spoil Game of Thrones. Not
that I believe in spoilers, but I don't like getting bitched at about them.
God, I want to recommend this show, The Leftovers, because it's not bad at all. It's pretty good, and I feel like most people will probably enjoy it more than me, because most people are into those mystery stories.
Yeah, well, I guess you should say if you like Attack on Titan.
If you like Attack on Titan, you'll love The Leftovers, yes. Oh, man. Yep. That's what I've been watching.
Yeah. What have I been watching? I guess nothing. After the Hideaki Anno shit, Ooh, did I watch, like, an episode of a thing? Yeah, I haven't watched any anime or TV. I've watched internet videos as usual. A lot of Game Grumps. I'm making I've launched a new channel called List Bro. Thanks to Jesse Wood for the name, List Bro. It's about top 10 lists.
It took a genius to come up with that name, huh?
It did. I was gonna call it Digi's Top 10 because I am not creative.
I call it a Digi List.
Digi?
How is fucking List Bro more creative?
List Bro sounds awesome.
Such
List Bro's a great name.
All I did was take out fucking Digi and put in List.
Yeah, but that works. The fact that it works makes it
fucking
genius.
I wanna use my photon blast and then we'll telepipe out of here and sell some shit.
But yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, I'm full too. I just filled up my inventory.
So you're full? What are you fucking eating?
No. Yeah, Jesse came up with the name. It's gonna be dedicated entirely to top 10 lists because I am a whore. And I love everyone knows I love making top 10 lists.
You
and
need
whenever
to make your top 10 lists.
Oh my god. That would be a nightmare.
What are your 10 top lists, bro?
I really should though. That would be great.
No, you went the other way.
But yeah, it's all gonna be like either lists that no one has done or very different versions of lists that everyone has done.
Stand in this pipe.
All right.
It's in the room. Oh no! No, bring me back! No!
Oh shit! I didn't think about it.
What the fuck? Did you just fart? This motherfucker laughed so hard he farted. Jesus Christ.
Beautiful. You're just standing in there. He just fucking blasted you to shit. Oh man. That was muchos excelente.
Not very clean.
That's Gupta served cold. Next time on Digibro.
Hopefully we talked about something more interesting.
Oh, I've been holding off on topics because we were going on a good rant. Like I was just not bringing up anything.